بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. السلام عليكم. صباحكم الله بالخير جميعا. Good morning everyone. It is my pleasure to IGF of course and to this session, and myself and my co-host here Dr. Lana Lumair from MCIT, acting on the Deputyship of Technology Foresight and Digital Economy, will be delivering very interesting that has the foundation of AI as well as some of the qualitative and quantitative data related to what mature organization AI or what AI mature organizations are doing in that space. By way of introduction, my name is Abdullah Shumrani. I'm an executive partner in Gartner. And without further ado, I will hand over to Dr. Lamia Al-Umair, who has an immense experience in the domain and will be going through the first section of this presentation. Go ahead, Doctor.
Thank you, Engineer Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, I will start with the question, which is, do you think technology can help? And do you think AI can help? When I start this, I will talk about the Industrial Revolution. When the first Industrial Revolution come, it helped us with the steam engine, people to move around. And then when the second Industrial Revolution come, with the electricity, it helped people to see even in the night. And the third Industrial Revolution, with the communication and electronics, it also helped people to communicate all over the globe. So all the three Industrial Revolution, it's helped our physical ability. But with the fourth Industrial Revolution, there is one more ability that comes with AI. It's improve our cognitive thinking. So here what I'm saying that with the AI, our cognitive ability is moving. So before, always we said that from the history, you can understand what will happen in the future. So I will just talk about very brief history about AI. So everyone think AI started very soon. No, AI started in 1950. Okay, when a mathematical professor, Alan Turner, was thinking, is the computer can think like human? So this is the starting point, 1950. So he trained the computer with information, and also he bring a human, and then he asked a couple of questions for this computer and a couple of this question for a human, and then he give a judge the answer of these two individual, computer and a human. And then guess what? This judge could not distinguish between which one come from a computer and which one come from a human. In this moment, Alan Turner said, okay, that means the computer can think like a human. Then in 1955, John McAfee in a conference, he launched the name of AI. After that, moving to the first robot, which was in General Motors. So in General Motor factory, they don't want to touch the chemicals, so they start with the first robots. So in 1961. After that, I just want to introduce you to the grandmother of ChatGPT. It's Eliza in MIT in 1965. They have Eliza, which is the first chatbot. It was simple, but 55 years later, we got our ChatGPT. So Eliza is the grandmother, what I say, for our chatbots now. And then you can see like around 25 years, there is nothing moving in AI. And then in 1997, IBM have this program called Deep Blue, which is this program beat the chess champion in the chessboard. So since then, the IBM, they start doing these changes, and they start to know that, okay, let's do another champion. in 1999, in the lab of MIT also, one professor, she had the first emotional robot. So they merged the AI with the robot. So they got the first emotional robot. After that, Google starting doing self-driving car. And just to let you know how important is the data for this, and how to be also very mature when you use it. When they use it, they train it for only white people face. And then when there's a black guy who wants to drive this car, it did not drive because there is missing of data. This is where ethics coming, and maturity of the data coming. And then maybe some of you know the Jeopardy game. In 2011, IBM, they got the Boston, which is a program that beat the Jeopardy champion. Then they continue doing Google. They do also the DeepMind, another program. In 2017, there is a breakthrough in machine learning for finding the skin cancer and also arrhythmia. So they start also the field of health here. And then in 2020, OpenAI, they launched the beginning of the ChatGPT, which was an NLP, natural language process, which is go to the six and try to find the magic. And everybody remember 21 when Corona hit us, and we need a vaccine. We need quick vaccine using AI. That's why we can get the vaccine quickly. In DeepMind AlphaFold, the protein structure can be predicted very quickly. With the protein structure, it was taking like 10 years to have the sequence of the protein translated using the biophysics, and then have the structure, and then try to find drug discovery. But AlphaFold, it's predict the structure protein very quickly, and then the discovery of the drug discovery. Also, we're very proud to say that in 23 we had Alam, which is from Sadaya, which is a Saudi chatbot, and also they are improving now. Saying all of this huge history, we want to predict the future. We want to see what this will take us. And in the same time, we're trying to learn from the journey before for having a new future. That's why today me and my colleagues, engineer Abdullah, will try to give you a sample how to be a mature in applying this. So everyone is asking, what is the definition of AI? There is plenty of definition. But let's say here, it's a cognitive system, as I mentioned in the beginning. Cognitive system is a natural or artificial system that connected together, taking all this information and data and translate it to an output that been something understand, something we can get information from it, something that decision maker can make information. Underneath this whole information, the artificial intelligence again, it is a program algorithm that connect together, that getting all this information and have something analyzing, coding, and everything. So this AI, after we say cognitive, and then the artificial intelligence, after that there is a machine learning, which is a subdivision of AI. The machine learning is how to teach the machine with all these information. So we get all the data, and then we get this machine learning. Underneath this machine learning is NLP, which is analysis. Under this. So in the machine learning, there is different deep learning also. It's the same as machine learning, but it has different layers. All of these have the support application, rule-based, optimizing system, NLP, as NLP is the base for the strategy and the knowledge, and all of these is dependent on one huge understanding of definition of AI, which is cognitive system. So all of this will be government, how we minimize the risk, how we can, following the signals that happen. All of this, that can AI help? This is again the question. The new business here, I know it will be having some, creating some new rules, refine, creating some new jobs, removing some jobs. But believe me, the new business will be, if we study it very well, it will be having a great impact. So again, the AI can help us in multiple. I will just try to explain one example today. So if you are asking us how we can have the best and the most qualified, they need the machine learning. I told you about the machine learning. The machine learning is a computer algorithm that you give it some data and it will learn. So if we give the data, the machine learning can give us a technique how to find the best customer. And then okay, we find the best customer. How we find the best customer that we can sell, okay? Using the rule-based system, it will give us coding to divide and see who is the best sale by understanding the rhythm that. And then how we can optimize the inventory and decrease it. And optimizing it using techniques. These techniques can lower the cost, make the benefit of all these information. So all of these AI can support. Okay. Now let's see how the investor can be optimized. So the most important point here, I'm going to talk about how to optimize the production quality. Okay, because we are caring about quality. We know that using AI will increase the quality. So how this will increase by embedded analysis inside it, and then this will teach us what is the pieces that maybe will failure. We can get it out. This is use 60% of the failure, and then I wanna use it to repair, repeating repair. So how we can analyze it? There is 20,000 things that can be analyzed. For example, if you take your car for maintenance, okay, and then for one piece, and then there is another one during the analyzing using AI need another maintenance. So it will save the time and it will repair instead of going and coming. So using the AI will reduce 25% of the repairing time. Finally, optimizing the website worldwide with 60 languages and 140,000, 1,400 worldwide. This is very important, you know. And then also tele-service and tele-maintain, so it will be making our life easier. You know how the telemedicine, tele-services, all of this will save time, and it will the quality of our life, the quality of human life will be better. And to tell you something, what I learned from computational biology, that we need the right formula for having the correct applying for AI. It's not easy to apply AI. It's very critical. That's why we say it's very helpful AI, but it's very critical. That's why we have this part. So the youth is referring to the use cases. They have to study use cases very quickly. Not any use cases can be used. The use cases that give us value, we understand it and we take it. The rest is this skills. It's very, very important to upscale ourselves. So I usually
Doctor. So hopefully you've learned, the foundational AI techniques, which are not really enough to apply AI within your organization. You need the five elements that Dr. Lamia talked about. And we've done some analysis in the market. We went out and surveyed 650 organizations around the world who are adopting AI in general, who excel in applying the AI techniques and apply the AI practices within their organizations. And we try to even filter out these 650 organizations to understand what are the common practices really make organizations and AI mature organizations. So out of the 650 that we surveyed, only 10% ended up to be AI mature organizations. And we'll go through, a lot of, the learnings and a lot of the teachings that we've gotten out of this survey. So basically, what we've done is a practical and quantitative approach to understand what the organizations are doing in the domain of adopting AI. So we need to understand one thing. When Gen AI, generative AI, ChatGPT in particular, came out, end of 22, it really made a big splash. It really moved the needle forward when it comes to general AI adoptions. Why? Because, a lot of expectations, a lot of hype, and a lot of value perceived out of, applying general AI within the organization settings in general. So this splash had some sort of ripple effect on the whole AI adoption in the organization. So basically, it did not focus only on Gen AI, but it also touched every other general AI technique, as has been highlighted by Dr. Lamia in the previous section. And you can understand the numbers that are being displayed in this. So we've done this survey almost every year for the past 8 years, and Gen AI was not really a technical or an AI technique, that we've highlighted as top ones. However, during last year, it came out of this splash, and one of the impact is to move from no applications within organizations to the highest used AI technique within the organization. As you can see, it actually compared to every, prominent and famous AI technique, whether it is related to machine learning, NLP, optimization techniques, and others. So it came number one within the use of organizations, and it had a ripple effect on everything else, as has been noted previously. And to understand this a bit more, I've sliced, the remaining sections of the presentation to three parts. The part where Gen AI, or the part that demonstrates where Gen AI has really made an impact in the overall AI adoption. Then the part that talks about the challenges related to overall AI adoption, and particularly Gen AI in specific. And the last one is to dissect the common practices around AI adoption within the organizations. So the top three impacts that were generated from Gen AI in particular was focusing on upskilling, AI upskilling in the business itself, not in IT or AI savvy sort of staff and associates within the organization. So this is number one. And the second thing is pushing the needle when it comes to AI adoption to next level, right? So Gen AI had a splash around AI adoption in general. So because Gen AI is focused and can provide value in specific use cases, but it does not provide value in every single other case. You need to use a plethora of AI techniques, similar to the ones that were described by Dr. Lamia and the top AI within the previous slide. But most importantly, and it became non-negotiable, the AI governance itself, because it deals with sensitive AI or sensitive data itself, and it has become the center of the universe when it comes to AI policies around the world. Here in Saudi, for example, we have the personal data protection law that governs, that has a lot of governance, mechanism when it comes to data related to AI itself. Aside from that, we have also the AI outline, or the Gen AI outline or guidance from Sadaya itself, to give insights on how you should use Gen AI and AI in general responsibly within your organizations. And as you can see from these three items, I mean, they are intertwined. Each one of them will impact the other. So the AI adoption will entails that you upskill your team. And the more AI adoption that you have within your organization, the more care that you need to do when it comes to AI governance itself. So you cannot, deal with one of them in isolation from the other, because they are really, intertwined and impacting each other. Sorry about the delay, but the clicker here is not really the best AI technology in the world. But basically, AI has a chain reaction when it comes, or Gen AI in particular, has a chain reaction when it comes to overall AI adoption within the organization. The number here is very interesting. Since 2 years ago, AI adoption has really doubled. We've received, we've understood that AI adoption gone from 1x to 2x within the organization, applied in multiple data or multiple business units as well as multiple business processes. This tells you that AI is becoming more and more stream, and organizations are serious about it. Okay, in 22 or 23, they've been piloting, but in 24, they have been scaling. And that scalability is related to the 2x that I have been talking about. And one of the things that increased the adoption of Gen AI in particular was embedding Gen AI capability within the general application landscape. So if you have a CRM, for example, it is not uncommon to see a Gen AI sort of capability within the CRM to help the normal user to try and digest, many of the processes related to a very complex CRM, let alone the data that is hosted within the CRM itself. So basically, Gen AI became forcing sort of function when it comes to AI adoption. In fact, you see it more used within embedded applications comparing to isolated or standalone ChatGPT or Gen AI functions, and everything in between is outside really the embedded application. So basically, if you want to really, or the key lesson that I'm trying to say here, if you want to really push the needle when it comes to Gen AI in general, let alone AI adoption, in specific, you need to think about adopting AI techniques within the general business applications in your organizations. And this is basically what we've seen. If you work in software engineering, for example, or you work on orchestrating enterprise applications, the enterprise application strategy has moved away from only being composable and only being reusable to include the embedded intelligence. And embedded intelligence is nothing but including the functionality of AI models, whether they're gen or normal, within the enterprise application landscape itself, just to make them more powerful, more impactful, and easier to use for normal users. As I said in the beginning, Gen AI has really made a big splash when it comes to AI adoption in general. However, it really, verified that we need to stand humble when it comes to the general AI adoption, and it is forcing us to mature, to higher stages with the plethora of challenges that we're facing in the journey itself.
And this is, and some of the challenges I will go through in that section. And before I go through the details of these challenges, I want to display two very interesting data points. So you need to understand that the journey toward AI maturity is not easy. It is very challenging. It is very it continues to be complex as we stand today, and it is very costly to organizations. And one of the things that we noticed from our survey this year is that AI projects, on average, never go to production. They don't see the light at all. 52% is not an easy number. 52% is a very large number. You know, you take an AI project, you pilot it for a number of months, as we will see in the next slide. Then you ended up in throwing it. Why? Because you could not really realize a break-even sort of point when it comes to the cost and value of running these AI models or scaling them later on in production. So 52, this means it's like tossing a coin, right? You don't know whether it will succeed or it will fail. And the other data point that I wanted to talk about is the length of piloting, a normal AI project itself. So in the previous, survey 23, it used to be 7 months. It's gotten worse this year with Gen AI, which makes things or organizations in general more frightened to take part of Gen AI and general AI adoptions within the organizations. They need to understand that in order to succeed, in their pilot, and in order to succeed in the scalable aspects when it comes to AI adoption, they need to focus on different things, as we will see in the next section. So 52 is prone to failure, and 8 months just to pilot an AI project. At the end, you don't know whether it will go to production or not. Revolution that came before it. You need to understand the AI technique and club it with the AI value or the use case value for the organizations. Without maximizing the end result of that sort of formula, you will not be able to actually say that we are AI enabled organizations at all. As you can see here, the barriers are very, lack of trust when it comes to AI, lack of business alignment, lack of data, lack of confidence in technological aspects of AI, especially for those who come maybe from certain countries where cloud is not really enabled there, provided that AI models and AI capabilities are better in cloud environment comparing to local environments. And definitely talent is a big thing. But most importantly, estimating and demonstrating AI value is the biggest challenge for organizations. And it goes hand in hand with the previous two data points that we described. 52% fail, and it takes 8 months to roll out a project from pilot to production. And if we focus on Gen AI in particular, you will see commonality between the Gen AI and common AI adoption in general. But the top ones related to technical implementations and cost of running Gen AI. And this year, we've seen more reliance on FinOps, for example, techniques, especially for those who are acquainted about cloud computing. I mean, you need FinOps capability in place just to help you, navigate the costs related to AI consumption and usage. And without a doubt, talent became also one of the top Gen AI, and this is where the Gen AI literacy or AI literacy programs come to resolve that sort of challenge, as we will see in the next section. So, as I said in the beginning, we've surveyed 650 organizations, right? And we've learned many data points related to their practices when it comes to AI adoption. And we filtered out the high maturity organizations, which came out to be around 9-10%. So out of 650, you only have 65 organizations that are mature when it comes to AI adoption in the in the world. And we've learned, four main lessons when it comes to AI adoptions and scaling AI adoption within the organization. But before we go through these four main lessons, I want to highlight what maturity actually means when it comes to our analysis to the data points that we collected. So basically, to establish the maturity definition, we need to understand that the common or the AI mature organizations applied AI across several business units and processes. So it's not enough to roll out a fraud management solution or model within production. You need to focus on customer intimacy, operation. You need to focus on predictive and preventive sort of scenarios. And this is related to different business units, let alone different business processes itself. And you need to understand that maturity as well means that they have deployed more than 5 AI use cases. Most organizations are still in the beginning of when it comes to AI journey. They are still piloting only one use case. The mature organizations, they've gone beyond that and deployed already 5 AI use cases in production. And they're not in the early stages of that deployment. These AI adoption models and use cases have stayed in production for at least 2 years in average, which should have generated a lot of value for the organizations that use them. So based on the analysis that we did for data, we understood that AI mature organizations focus on the bottom, as you will see in the layer of that paragraph or that diagram. So basically, the bottom forms the foundation of AI mature organization, relating to the operating model that is being used to scale AI within the organization, related to AI engineering practices and pipelines that should be put in place, and definitely upskilling, because we've learned in the previous surveys, talent is a major issue. So upskilling is one way to resolve that gap in the organizations, as well as change management, and definitely the governance aspect, which focus on trust and risk and security management in general. So the ones on the top, whether it is related to the AI use cases, AI trends, the next big thing, and the AI models that are open in flux when it comes to announcements, this is something you should not be focusing on if you want to really mature your journey when it comes to AI. You need to focus on the foundational elements, as we will go through in a moment. So, as I said, AI, in the previous diagram, the ones on the top are really shiny, and you need to shy away from shiny objects when it comes to AI, and really be laser focused when it comes to the foundational and fundamental components of AI that will help you to really scale and reach the 5 use cases, different business units and business processes, hopefully reach 2 years in production when it comes to AI adoption. But if we talk about the scalable AI operating model, and I am conscious of the time, so I'll try to speed up. When it comes to the operating model, scaling AI requires different AI operating model. I mean, previously, central teams may have succeeded to maybe pilot AI in the organizations, But in order to really scale it, you need to think about hybrid model where very central AI capabilities need to take place, but they work in tandem and in collaboration with other business units within the organizations in a very specific and governed sort of manner. While the budget, when it comes to AI, you need to think about that mature AI organizations distribute the AI budget across different sort of business project instead of being concentrated on one or two projects. And this is one example of hybrid operating model. As I said, there are central team that has the central capabilities related, for example, to AI strategy, AI architecture, and some of the subject matter experts when it comes to AI domain. But you also have the edges, the business units, the business processes where many of the innovations are being adopted. And in order to adopt that, you need to upskill the team as we will see in a moment. But there is no one size fits all. So every hybrid model will differ from one organization to other. But at the same time, you need to shy away from centralizing everything in one domain and think about what makes sense when it comes to hybrid in your organization. And AI engineering, if you come from software engineering background, for example, you need to you will definitely relate to what I'm saying, what I'm going to say now, because you will in software engineering you have the pipelines that helps you to develop and design specific components and rolling out in scale to production, right? Same AI. I mean, you need to have a mechanism to help you manage AI design and deployment end to end within, a very automated fashion in your organization. Without building these sort of fundamental components in organizations, you will not be able to scale, every AI model that you adopt within the organization. So the main focus for AI engineering in general, dedicated AI teams will mature AI organizations should double down in AI engineering capabilities and practices within the organizations, right? And you need to understand that these AI engineering practices and capabilities will help you even, ready your data when it comes to AI adoptions. Gen AI or normal AI, traditional AI using the different AI techniques that we talked about earlier. And again, mature organization double down in AI engineering, and you can see here the top AI engineering practices relating to testing, developing AI solutions, and deploying AI solutions. If you focus on the developing AI solutions, you will relate to the composable and reusable sort of components that you need to lay down if you want to really become serious when it comes to AI adoption in your organizations. Now it is even more difficult to get it done. طيب. Okay, so basically AI design patterns are very similar to software engineering design patterns. And if you don't come from that field, they're nothing but Lego blocks, right? Lego blocks, you could connect them like this or like that to actually come up with a specific shape that you have in mind. But basically, AI design patterns help you to bridge the different use cases with the right AI solution architecture that you have that you want to build for your organization. And I'll have one example in the next slide. So this example relates to clubbing, what we call retrieval research model, or RAG, retrieval augmented generation, with the general, Gen AI large language model. So basically, and retrieval augmented generation happens to serve multiple use cases within the organization, whether related to customer intimacy or operational excellence or other sort of scenario like employee productivity or others. But basically, this component here could be reused across many other AI adoption techniques and scenarios within the organization. And you could club it with the right LLM model that you could employ for the specific use cases that you want to really scale in your organization. But basically, building that as a Lego component or as a reusable sort of component will help you to adopt other use cases in your organizations. And the third sort of teaching from the survey that we've done is the focus on upskilling and change management. So upskilling alone, focusing on the AI associate should not be your only concern. You need to think about how you could adopt AI literacy programs within the overall organizations that help, every associate within the organization understand the capability of AI and how they could use AI in their context. And this is where Gen AI literacy or AI literacy programs could help. But definitely change management. And we will see in a moment, how change management techniques and activities could help you maximize the value related to your organizations across different, spectrums and domains. So as we see here from that case study, basically this, case study or the lesson that I want to highlight in this case study is that you need to be systematic when it comes to upskilling your associates within the organization. I mean, you should not focus only on the pros who use and reuse and create AI models or become really, strong prompt engineers, but also focus on a bigger sort of group that may not really need advanced capabilities when it comes to AI, but they need moderate sort of capability. But the general, associate having online courses that could be distributed across will help you to really reach every single associate within the organization. And basically, that layering sort of systematic approach when it comes to AI literacy or adopting AI in your organization is very important to reach out more people. And again, change management is very important. And change management, techniques will help you to maximize the business outcomes when it comes to cost saving, risk management, customer experience, or even activity for employees. So without the right change management applications, you will not be able to reach very high, sort of impact when it comes to the different, values when it comes to business outcomes. And the last thing that I want to focus on is AI governance in general. And basically, AI trust, risk, and security management is one of the framework that we often highlight in Gartner, and it basically focuses on the fact that governance is being applied by diverse roles. AI associates or AI savvy people will not help you to reach high AI governance. You need to think about the different dimensions and different food of, or different perspective that needs to be put in place by these diversity of roles. And the budget authority, especially when it comes to AI privacy and security, is very important. I mean, they need to be owned by a central unit that help you to adopt the governance mechanism that is related. And business impact when it comes to breaching or enabling AI privacy is very important. So again, I mean, the AI tourism and or AI framework will help you, tourism framework will help you to apply the governance mechanism, utilizing different components in the AI tourism technologies and connecting with AI systems and the organizational governance practices in the that you have in your organization. And the last thing, I just want to highlight is that AI adoption phases of maturity, and often we focus on what's above the surface rather than build strong roots that will help you really mature with time and reuse these components as you go. And this is just a wrap to everything that I said and everything that Dr. Lamia said. the opportunity is big when it comes to AI adoption, and you need to pick the right AI models using the right formula that was described earlier, and the 4 lessons that I've gone through, whether it is related to picking the right operating model, hybrid in that case, and utilizing AI engineering and upskilling, literacy and the literacy program, as well as investing in AI trust, risk and security management in general. This is very important to really push the needle forward and become an AI mature organization. Thank you very much. We'll stay around if you have any questions.